What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Roberts. Welcome into another recruiting edition of the At Large Bid Bearcats podcast. Tonight, I'm joined by 6'1", 215-pound Taft linebacker Adam Kirtley. Adam is currently the number 90 player in Ohio. Finished his junior season with 155 tackles, 24 tackles for loss. Adam, welcome in.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How's your summer going so far, man?
It's been going good. Got my summer lifeguard job. We've been killing it at practice, so everything been great as far as that. And then I just committed, to the city, so I'm more extremely happy and proud, my accomplishments and everything. So
What man, you're a guy, you had a lot of offers. I believe it was 19 offers as a whole. What was this recruiting process like for you?
as a whole, recruiting for me, it was kind of much of a getting out the mud process with me. So a little backstory of me, I didn't play my sophomore year. I played JV, was an underdog. People didn't look at me as, oh, he's going to go big or anything. So end up, leaving Princeton, going to Taft. Well, Coach Ty, he's been a big influence. Been training with him since I was a little kid, and so it was just like now junior year, I gotta pop it off. I didn't have no stars, no rankings, nothing. So I had to work my junior year and then got my first offer. Remember the exact day, I believe it was January 12th. Got Liberty. He called me. He was like, yeah, Adam, we're offering you. I was like, what? Liberty? I didn't even know y'all even knew who I was. So it was just getting out the mud, and then everything else stacked after that. Got two offers the next 2 days after that. So it was just, just stacking up, building by
Yeah.
each day. So yeah.
So some of your primary offers were obviously Cincinnati, Buffalo, Marshall, Liberty, as you mentioned, Temple, among others, Miami, Ohio. Basically, all of the MAC schools sent
Mhm.
out an offer to you. As you're hearing these coaches talk to you, and you're hearing all these different recruiting pitches, what were some of the key things that were important to you as far as what you were looking for at the next level?
The most key things were seeing if I fit into the scheme. Seeing if I can fit into the defensive scheme, seeing if they wanted me to play Will, Sam, Mike, or just
Mhm.
seeing if I can adjust. So I was really, as far as me getting offers, and then just trying to see if I can fit into the guy's scheme, building a relationship with the coaches, players. So my biggest thing was just knowing if I can play at that school, if they will develop me and evaluate me, So that was my
Mhm.
biggest factors as far as all schools.
I'm kind of interested. You're a local guy, but you took an official visit the weekend of June 20th. As a local guy, what was that official visit like for you, and what kind of stood out to you, and like was maybe your favorite part of that visit?
Uh, that's kind of tough because I kind of been everywhere. But as far as being a local guy, I think hanging around with the players was probably the most, exciting thing. Because a lot of players come from different areas. Some people come from
Hmm.
Georgia, some people from
Yeah.
the DMV, Maryland, DC, Virginia. So, the recruiting process for Cincinnati, it's a lot of people out of region and just, getting a perspective of how they've been fitting into UC and then how much they like the city. That was probably my most best part, just seeing their perspective. I think that probably was, because I kind of been everywhere in the city. I've been living here, my whole life.
Yeah.
So I think just experiencing what other people didn't get to experience, and now they coming into this city and they experiencing it. So I think that was probably one of the best parts.
So you're offered by Cincinnati June 17th. You commit June 23rd. What was it about Cincinnati, the coaching staff, and the program as a whole that led to you shutting down your recruitment and deciding that you want to stay home and be a Bearcat?
UC always been a dream school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been a dream school. I used to train there all the time. I always wanted to get an offer from UC, and I knew that's where it was gonna fit me at best. I grew up watching, all the best linebackers from UC, watching Ivan come up there, you
Yeah.
know. Now the linebacker, Gode Jake, yeah, he's a dog. Watching him, my dog JT, just always getting to see that the versatility in linebackers, and I was like, yeah. I can play there. You know, like this is the defense I like, being versatile. You know, they're not too big, they're not too, most of them
Mhm.
lean and versatile. And I just always knew I can fit it to the scheme. It was just a matter of time to, the coaches trusting to me until, now I'm committed to them. So I think it was that.
So it's definitely been a pretty wild journey for you so far. Were there any player comps that the coaching staff kind of let you know, hey, this is how we envision you playing like, and maybe a current Bearcat that they kind of envision you filling that role?
Um, I I think they envisioned me filling the role of Ivan Pace.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they envision me, can playing in box, but as far I can come off the edge, and if I have to get in a space and cover a little bit, that's what I have to do. So I think they want to fit me in a role where I can do, a lot of versatility instead of just staying in one position and then just,
Right.
having the same responsibility. So they see me as that, or I can play in a box, or I can cover, or I can come off the edge if needed. So more of that Ivan Pace, that role that he played back when he played back then. So I think that's the role they want me to fit in as.
Do you not sure how much you watch the NFL, but do you have like a current professional player that you try to model your game after?
As far as players in the NFL,
Yeah.
um,
Or do you have any favorite
yeah,
players?
yeah, yeah. I watch a lot of college people though. So, but
Okay.
I know I like I watch a couple NFL people. I like Roquan Smith. I watch him a
All
lot.
right.
Yeah, he's a beast. The way he can move, he can replace under body. Like the way he just plays is I kind of mimic my game off him. I mimic my game a lot off college players too. Because
Right.
college players more freely and in the defensive scheme. And college is everything is just put in place. But as far as NFL, Roquan Smith, um, it's a couple more. Um, who else? Cause he played with Roquan Smith. I'm trying to think. He played at LSU with him. Patrick Queen.
Well, yeah,
Patrick Queen.
McQueen.
Yep,
Yeah.
him. Um, watch him a lot, and that's I'm really deep into college ball. So I watch a couple linebackers from NFL, but I really mimic a lot of college players.
So are you like a college football junkie on Saturdays after
Yeah.
after your film? You're
Yep.
going home and just sitting on the couch and watching college football all day?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. That's who I am. I'm a college junkie.
I got to ask, man, because one of the biggest things, and I repeat this every time I talk to a recruiter commit, one of the biggest things I always hear is the like genuine relationships with the Cincinnati staff. Who have you built the relationship with the most? Like I know Coach Cass and the recruiting staff, they're really involved with the recruiting side of things. What's that relationship like with the Cincinnati coaching staff as a whole?
Um, if if I can say it really feels like family.
Yeah.
Coach Cass been recruiting me most of my high school journey. Um, Coach Braswell, he's an awesome man.
Mhm.
I just love his personality. He shows me why I want to be a Bearcat. Him just being able to coach and then being able to build a relationship. That's something I didn't feel that much on every single V I took. I was looking
Yeah.
for that small part. And then Coach Braswell really showed me that. You know, Coach Vid, defensive coordinator, yeah, that's my guy. He's more of a calm coach, but when it's time for business, he's on go mode and he's locked in. And he's gonna make everybody, fully locked in. So it's always just been, I've been around these guys for a little while. So
Mhm.
I've been understanding, how they coach and how they are in the real world, how do they treat their players or how do they build relationships? And I always felt love. So
Mhm.
yeah, Coach Cass, it's a lot to say about my guy. He got a fun, awesome personality. We've been talking for years, if not, yeah, possibly years. So he's definitely been a one in my circle a lot. So yeah.
So you mentioned Coach Braswell, the linebacker coach. What have they kind of communicated to you that your strengths are, and what areas have they told you there's some opportunity for improvement that you maybe need to work on this off season?
Trace were definitely my attacking ability, me being able to go and close the distance. Um, Another thing that coach liked a lot was most likely me coming off the edge.
Mhm.
He liked seeing me, stay in the box, and then when it's time for me to either come off the edge of blitz or feel, contain or hold the edge, he likes that a lot. One thing he did say he wants to do, he wants to see me cover and space a little more. So
Mhm.
I've been improving on that. And then he said I'm real fast, but he says my feet are too quick. I need to start slowing down on my feet and just like, because I can sometimes overrun a play.
Right,
It usually works in my advantage, but in college it's not going to, everybody's fast and everybody's strong. So he wants me to be a little slower on my feet, just a little slower, just starting off on my first two steps. So
is
yeah.
there so when you watch your film, you've already mentioned it yourself, but they tap your coaches kind of move you around. Like you're coming off the edge, you're playing the middle, you're dropping in coverage. Is there any certain linebacker position that you're most comfortable at?
I would say either Sam or Will.
Okay.
It's
Outside.
yeah, it's a little love and hate, because
Yeah,
with Will, you're more freely, so nobody's blocking me really, so I'm just growing through the gaps and then I'm making a tackle, But
right,
sometimes when the ball can run away from you, and then it's a more, I'm not getting action, but I like playing Sam a lot. I get to be in a box more. I get the balls coming my way. So if a lineman's coming my way, it's a 1-on-1. You're gonna have to show me that you're stronger, bigger, faster.
right.
So
Yeah,
I think most likely Sam or Will. Mike. I played Mike a little bit during the season, but mostly I'm getting recruited for Sam or Will. So
gotcha.
it'll probably be between them two.
So I gotta ask this as well. You had a chance to see the new indoor practice facility. What were your thoughts on that after seeing the completed version of it?
Well, now it's crazy because my brother he lives right by there, so I'm usually. And the day I came there, I was like, "What? This is
Where
in
did this come
Clifton?
from?
This is in Clifton? Like, this is in my town? Like, ain't no way."
Yeah,
I was like, I couldn't believe it. Then when I came up for the private workout, I got a tour and it just blew my mind. Like, I'm like, ain't no way. I know they revent, having renovation and everything, but this is $134 million in my city. I couldn't believe it. Everything was so beautiful about it. And then spending there, going there the whole weekend, it was just crazy. So yeah, it
did
was a mind blowing thing, just to see how much they developed, Clifton, as far how it's just in a city, how much they developed and then making that was crazy to me. So
did you have a favorite part of it when they were doing the tour of it for you?
a favorite part, I would say the meeting room's crazy.
Yeah,
The defensive meter room looks like a college, it looked like a real class. I was like,
right.
what? How did they make this like the meter room looked just so insane. I think that was probably one of my favorites. And then I liked it the indoor, like the field. I liked it the field a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the glass, all you can see through the glass and everything. Yeah, that was dope.
You mentioned, UC being your dream school. Did you grow up with a favorite Bearcat or just a fan of the program in general?
A favorite Bearcat. Me growing up, I think it might have been Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
His
Yeah,
swag, and the way he played the game is crazy. And
yeah,
I like the Sauce Gardner story because he wasn't even supposed to play as early as he would. Like
right.
when they really seen how good he was and he got that pick, then it was like, oh yeah, it's
It was
on.
it was an injury. An injury. He was getting like spot snaps, and then there was an injury, so he was kind of forced in. He had that pick six, and the rest was history.
That was crazy. Yeah, so I think I say as far as a favorite Bearcat, he was definitely a motivation for me growing up. I just liked the way he played, his swag, the way he carried himself, and I think that part is my a real good motivation.
Yeah, for sure, man. As far as like, student comes before student athlete, do you have any plans for what you want to major in at the next level?
Criminal law, criminal
Okay.
justice. Yeah, like more in that criminology. I used to always stay up, as a little kid, watching Law and Order, or some criminal shows, First 48. It was just a lot. I used to always just like, oh yeah, I can be a, lawyer or detective. I just always wanted to study that. So that's definitely what I'm planning on studying. I leave in December. I'm gonna be on campus in December. I'm gonna be early enrolling.
Okay.
I'm gonna be studying pre-law, so I'm gonna be in pre-law and then yeah, see where it takes me after that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you mentioned early enrolling. Like at this time, a lot of kids, they're doing the camp circuit. They're doing the national 7-on-7s. What are your plans for the rest of the summer?
Rest of the summer, it's more it's developing my team,
Hmm.
so we lost in state semifinals. We won regionals. Did it for the first time in CPS history, 49 years. So we know that we can get there. And
Yeah.
then losing last year, it hurts every day. I wake up, I think about it. And now I'm like, oh yeah, we never made it this far. So now it's time to put the team on my back and develop us to have a real team bonding. So everybody like want to basically die for each other on the field. Like I feel
Right.
like if we have that bond, then nobody can beat us. So I'm a definitely focus on now. Outside of that, I think I'll be doing a little private wrestling trainings, since I won't be able to wrestle when it's winter time. So I'm gonna definitely be doing some wrestling. Probably if I can get in a camp or anything, I'm gonna definitely train to help me with my, form and technique.
Yeah, we haven't got to hit on that yet. Give us some background on how long you've been wrestling and how it's kind of helped you on the football side of things.
I've been wrestling since my freshman year, and
Yeah.
then yeah, sophomore year, I actually did pretty good. Wrestled 215. I was a I lost in sectionals. The game I lost a match before state, so if I would have won that, I would have been in state. But I was selected
Yeah.
as an extra. Yeah, so wrestling was a real good experience for me though. But it's definitely a mental sport. You're by yourself. It's not no team. You're not with your boys. So it's a one-on-one sport. Who the toughest man? But I've been
Right.
wrestling since freshman year. I actually didn't wrestle last year. I had a wrist injury, so it prevented me because it was too much pressure on my wrist. But yeah, so been doing that since a freshman. Then I'm finna get back into training again. So wrestling is definitely a great sport, especially if you playing football.
Right. So there's another guy that committed, Jonathan Rulo. He won. He's a national champion and state champion for I think 285. Have you had? Is that
Oh,
someone
that's
that you had a
crazy.
chance to meet and talk to?
Um, did he commit recently?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think he was on the OV with us.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a D line, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. I didn't get to talk to him much. I believe his flight got delayed, so he came a day late. And then I chatted up with him, but we ain't really get to have no deep conversation. But that's crazy. Yeah, that's some yeah, that's crazy. Them boys are
Let's. So you mentioned wrestling. What are some of the other things that you like to do off the field?
um off the field. I would most likely say I do a lot of like adventurous stuff. So I go hiking or I go on trails or stuff like that. Most of my time take up either work or football. So
Yeah.
I'm not really just doing a lot with my free time. But if I am, I'm either going with my brothers or friends on a we'll go canoeing or something like that. We just always like to get outside while we can. I don't never like to stay inside really. So
Right.
yeah.
What about music? What's on your pregame playlist and what are some of your favorite songs? when it comes to getting hyped for a game?
Uh, Definitely young boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he get the locker room turned. Him, Chief Keef, we be definitely bumping to him. We just start picking up on rapper from Indiana. His name Skrilley
Okay.
G's. Yeah, he got that music that'll make you feel me going lock in demon mode.
Yeah.
So it really be a mixture, you know. So but sometimes we can go calm and have some happy music, you know. You know, we in between.
I was talking to Markel Taylor last night, and he said Rod Wave, that's his go-to before games.
Yeah, don't be the silent demons. We be
Yeah,
more turned. Like we loud. Y'all gonna hear us out the locker room before the game.
right.
Yeah, so
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on tonight, taking some time to give the fans a opportunity to get to know you a little bit on and off the field. Um, what I guess the last thing I have to ask is like when it comes to food, are you a Skyline guy, Montgomery Inn? Like, what are some of your favorite spots around the city?
yeah, I'm a skyline guy. Yeah, I get that three-way or that chili. I get the chili cheese sandwich. So
All right.
yeah, I'm near sometimes after game days. You know, might hit up, beat up sometimes, but skyline, yeah, that's the go-to too for my teammates.
All right. So Skyline, if you're watching, might have an NIL offer or opportunity for the chili cheese sandwiches.
Tell them hit me up.
All right, man. Well, good luck the rest of this summer. I know everyone's excited to get you on campus and get you in the red and black, and we look forward to following your senior year at Taft.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you for getting me on here, my man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Let's go Bearcats.